Let's now turn to the host of this program, Bill O'Reilly, who has some well-deserved time off in Galway, Ireland. Bill, welcome to your own show. Your thoughts on the summit today. What did you see?
Well, first of all, I thought you did a very comprehensive job in laying out what happened in a non-hysterical way. I want to fill in a few blanks. And as you said, I'm here in Galway City. I'm going to be in Ireland all week, and I'll be reporting all week. So Monica and I will be talking tomorrow, and on Wednesday and Thursday I'll be doing the No Spin News solo, and I have some very interesting stuff to tell you about my trip here in Ireland. But anyway, let's get back to the summit between Putin and Trump. First of all, when Donald Trump said the server, okay, he did not do it well, all right? Nobody knows what he's talking about, except people like Monica and I who cover this thing. What he is insinuating there is that the Russian hackers, and he knows that military people associated with Vladimir Putin hacked into Democrats involved with the Hillary Clinton campaign. He knows that, okay? He won't say it, but he knows it because that's true. That's what they're being indicted for. So everybody should understand. These Russian military people, intelligence people, who did report to Vladimir Putin, hacked into John Podesta's email and others, DNC, to get information. And then they were going to use that information in a variety of ways to disrupt the election. So everybody should know that that's a fact. And Trump admitted it today by saying obliquely, well, I want to see the server. What server? Hillary Clinton's server. So Trump is trying to insinuate that the hackers, the Russian hackers, got into Hillary Clinton's email. And therefore, when Hillary Clinton told the FBI no, nothing was compromised, and Comey said nothing was compromised, that was a lie. That's a big headline no one has pointed out. That is huge, as Trump would say. Okay? That's what Trump is insinuating. He wants to see the server, Hillary Clinton's server, to see if there was a hack from the Russians, and to see why the FBI didn't look at the server and all of that. So, okay, that is very important for everybody to understand. Now, as far as Putin himself is concerned, Putin's a liar, as you pointed out. Putin's a killer, as I pointed out to Trump's face in my interview with him, Super Bowl Sunday 2017. All right? So Putin is a villain, and everybody knows he's a villain, every fair-minded person. And yes, he's a Russian nationalist, and he's trying to build up Russia, but he's also trying to tear down the United States. So that we have to emphasize that it's not just about building up Mother Russia. It's about harming the United States and Western Europe. And that's what he wants to do. He's a disruptor. So Putin gets out there with Trump, and they don't really accomplish much that we can report on because we don't know what the private conversations were. And what we do know is that, predictably, Putin denies everything. That's what he always does. I didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. Didn't happen. So where do you go from there? Where do you go? You look at him and you go, yes, you did, and then what do you have? You got chaos. As you pointed out, Monica, Trump wants a deal. He wants to basically lower tensions between the two countries, wants to get Russia back into the economic flow, get them part of the G7, they'd be the G8 again, so that Russia has a stake and stops all the disruptions. And then he wants a nuclear deal to de-emphasize nukes in both countries. That's pretty much what the end game is. So Trump says to himself, I get nowhere insulting Putin, calling him a liar. I get nowhere. Okay, so that's Trump's side. Then what happened, and this was before the fact, I knew this was going to happen. The narrative that was put out by CNN almost immediately. CNN works in concert with the Democratic Party. So they speak, they exchange information, and I mean, it's well known that their operatives and Democrat operatives are friendly. So even before they met in Helsinki, the narrative was they have something on Trump. They, being Russia, has something on Trump. Now, we've heard it before, but almost immediately after the joint press conference, John Brennan, works for CNN, former CIA chief, hates Trump more than anybody, I think, in the country, comes out and says that. All right? And then it starts. The drum starts. Bang, 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 bang. They have something on Trump. They have something on Trump. They have a tape. They have this. They have that. No proof of it. Okay? But that's then Schumer says the same thing. Then Pelosi says the same thing. Exactly the same. No deviation. Trump's being blackmailed. Putin owns Trump. You know, so I'm watching it. Okay, so that's your assertion. You have anything to back that up? No. As you pointed out, if there was anything like that, it would have leaked out a long time ago from Mueller or any senator or Congress intel person. If there was any sign that Russia was blackmailing Trump, that would have come out with something attached to it, not just a hollow opinion. Now, I can't say with 100% certainty that Putin doesn't have something on Trump. I don't know. But I can tell you with 100% certainty that there's been not a shred of evidence. So how irresponsible is it for a television network, CNN, and others picked it up as well, and the Democratic Party chieftains to go out and say, Putin's got something on Trump? You know, I mean, come on. It gets to be to the point where that's defamation, all right? I mean, you know, Trump's not going to sue them, but it's certainly defamatory unless you can prove it. And it's destructive to the country because people believe it. The Trump haters believe it. So terribly destructive, terribly unfair, but that was going to be the narrative no matter what happened. And then we have the hysteria, you know, Trump should be impeached. I even saw that. Somebody was running around saying that. So summing up, Trump tries to deflect it onto Hillary Clinton, tries to raise questions that the Russians who hacked her. I don't think Donald Trump has any proof of that. He's doing almost the same thing that his opponents are doing, but he has a point where the FBI didn't even look at the main server. I mean, come on. So that was not established clearly. I am establishing it clearly tonight. All in all, nothing really accomplished that I can see from this meeting with Putin, other than Trump gets a soccer ball. I would have said if I were Trump, thanks for the soccer ball, can you give me Robert Kraft's Super Bowl ring back?
Yes, apparently he stole the Super Bowl ring from Bob Kraft, right?
Putin stole a ring from the owner of the New England Patriots. You know, said, look, I'll trade you the ball back for the ring. So anyway, that's pretty much where we are. I think we covered everything. You think we missed anything?
No, in fact, I just have one or two questions for you, Bill, while I've got you on the line. First, a comment. I so appreciate your raising his point about the server. I mean, obviously, in the course of that answer, Trump said he was still rather skeptical that the Russians actually did what a lot of intelligence agencies and so on say that they did. We can debate that. But your point about his raising the issue of the Hillary server is that he is insinuating that perhaps the Russians did compromise that server, that they did gain entry. And I think it's an important point because in the
that is enormous. If that's true, then Hillary Clinton should have been indicted.
Well, that's right. And you'll recall, Bill, last week, I know you were covering the Peter Strzok hearing on Capitol Hill. One of the things that came out that wasn't really covered was the fact that in fact, that server was penetrated by a quote-unquote foreign entity. So there's a lot more to learn on this server, and maybe President Trump knows a lot more than he is letting on. The question that I have...
Wait, one more clarification on that, because you hit on an interesting point that I didn't discuss. Look, if Donald Trump believes that the Russians penetrated Hillary Clinton's server in their basement, okay, which he had set up illegally, she should not have set that up, all right? If he really believes that, then he can, all right, call for, very specifically, the FBI to go back in and get the server, and he should. The second thing is, you're right, he's too soft on Putin. When I had my conversation with him, and people should Google that, O'Reilly Trump Super Bowl interview. When I had my conversation with him, I told him, I said, look, you're almost legitimizing this thug. I know you got to neutralize him. I know you have to deal with him, just like you had to deal with the North Korean gangster. But you don't want to really put him in a positive light. Keep it neutral. But this is the way he does things, Trump. So you were right. He wants the deal, and he feels it's the best way to get the deal. Final point, and then you can ask me anything else you want. In my column on BillO'Reilly.com, I tell everybody how Putin has won this. He's the big winner in this Russian interference on the 2016 election. Not only did he get into the fabric of the election, but he destroyed the FBI. He put a cloud over a sitting president of the United States. He's annihilated the free press in America because nobody believes it anymore. I mean, Putin's just dancing over there. He won an enormous victory in all of this.
Well, as you say, he's a disruptor. And what's interesting, Bill, is so is President Trump in a different way. So you have these two disruptors coming together, and you're absolutely right about Putin's objectives, which is to cause chaos and disruption across the Western world, including among the NATO allies, including here in the United States. And we could argue he's had some enormous success in doing so. All right, Bill, we're going to let you go back to your vacation. We're going to talk to you tomorrow about the fallout from this summit. And have a good night there in Ireland, and have a pint for me, your fellow Irish gal.
All right, Monica, thanks for filling in, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Pleasure, Bill. Thank you so much.